What is homeschool? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever considered even being a student and thinking about homeschooling? Have you ever had any problems at school? Do you like getting up in the morning and getting to school? Do you have any kind of peer pressure? Is there any bullying that you know of? If we think about that, for bullying, let's just think about bullying, for example. For bullying, we have looked at the news a few many times and find out that there's so many students that are being bullied. Some don't come out there and tell people. Some keep it in. And they go to school and they go through a lot of trouble just because that's happening. And it's a sad world that we live in, that those things are happening. So what can we do for our kids? Maybe as a parent, if I knew my child was being bullied, I would want to know if there's options out there. Well, I find out there's homeschool. Now with homeschool, there's different ones that you can choose from, which is good because you get to pick the one that's more tailored to you. To maybe some people can afford to pay for a teacher to come to their home and teach their child. Or maybe you need to be the teacher. So there are a few things that you can do. I can say that what I like personally is that in the morning my child can have a little bit extra time, have a good healthy breakfast, not have to rush. She can relax and do her stuff and then start school, let's say at 9 o'clock. I decided to do that this year. I believe that it's going to be healthier for my child. I also see the benefits of homeschooling. I've looked into it, and I can see how it could be worthwhile, my time and my child's time. When deciding this, that you have to be pretty serious about the fact that it's going to take a lot of your time to do this. So it's a serious thing to think about, because we will go ahead and have to change things around to make it happen. So one of the things is that we can think of is how we're going to put a schedule together to help our child to make sure that the lessons are done. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is as well, have you heard in the news about school threats? For example, there's been school shutdowns because there's a child with a gun, or there's a person that comes into the school with a gun. These things are pretty scary. And if you think about your child being in school and you're at work or you're at home, can you imagine how scary that is, and to not know what's happening until who knows when? And then they start telling you everything was good, but meanwhile you're super worried. Some schools, it's been pretty ugly. Kids have died in school. So to me, I feel that homeschooling is a great option. And I wanted to bring it out there because some people don't know that that exists, and that's an option for their kids. You have more free time with them. You can do art with them. And art doesn't have to be boring, sitting down. It could be going to museums as a field trip. It could be, doing things together to kind of bond with each other, which I like a lot. The other thing is having that one-to-one time, getting to know what the weakness is for your child, and learning certain materials and being able to sit with them and getting them to understand it. And then once they understand it, they can probably go a little faster. Some kids have graduated really early because they go through the material a lot faster than maybe some other kids. So you have those options. We have as well the fact that homeschool is not for everybody. Why? Because it's pretty strict. You can easily get to the point where you're not catching up with the material if you're not on time or if you're not organized with your stuff. You need to have lots of patience, and you need to be very well organized. It takes, like I brought up before, a lot of time, discipline, and it takes some creativity from you to try to make it a little bit more exciting for your child. But as well, you just have to think about those things before considering to do homeschool. So you should review this and maybe consider thinking about the option of homeschooling your child. It allows for flexible schedule. It helps with bonding time with your child. And homeschooling takes a lot of patience, time, and discipline. Homeschooling can be an exciting time for you and your child, and worthwhile as well. Thank you.